Hello everyone, my name is Arditha and welcome back to another video, and to be honest with you, I don't know what this video could really fit as. It's not really a tutorial or anything, it's not really a news report, it's somewhat of a rant, somewhat of just, it's half rant, half news, so take it as it is. I'm here to inform you about the new public test server or public test build and the new update that's on that for Dead by Daylight. And I think it's 2.4, I think it should be 2.4. Anyway, new killer, the Legion. This patch was very promising. I read through the patch notes and I loved it. I looked at the initial Legion, info box and all of the perks and stuff, had my first run and it looked impressive. Everything looked impressive. Everything was not impressive. I've got lots of things to talk about, lots of things to dissect and tell you why they're shit and why this patch is shit. So without any further ado, this is why this patch is shit. The first change is going to be the graphics, which are actually overall very good. The game looks much nicer now. We've got better lighting, more accurate lighting, less horrible saturation overlays. So e.g. Coldwind maps just looking completely yellow and Coal Tower maps looking, completely blue, or Macmillan, whatever it was. They now look completely natural and everything just looks beautiful, really. Shadows are better, the lighting is better, but now using actual shadows instead of a curves overlay. Everything is just looking nicer. However, with this extra realism, we have also seen that Claudette is now harder than ever to be seen. And I ended up downing one earlier on stream, and I took a screenshot and said, yeah, Claudette's harder to see, and people were saying, wait, hang on, there's a fucking Claudette there where it's rough. Claudette needs to be changed. This is not okay. Like, she is legitimately invisible now. And we've all been complaining about her for a long time, but she's even worse now. If you manage to die as a Claudette, you are flat out fucking bad on this new update, because you are legit invisible. Unless you're like on Leary's or the game. And probably even the game you can manage to get away with it. Next up, we've got Borrowed Time, which is sort of linked to Deep Wound. So, with the new killer, we've got a new infliction called Deep Wound. With Deep Wound, you are now injured internally, and it is a very bad injury, so the description says. And this means that there is now a timer being applied, and if this timer goes down to 0, you will be put into the dying state. So it's effectively the borrowed time bleed out thing. However, this does not go down whilst you're in a chase, so a killer can't just apply that to you and then force you to go down. However, if you're not in a chase or whatever, you can just simply mend, which is like snapping out of it, and it gets rid of the affliction and you're all good to heal as normal. It's basically snap out of it, but if you don't snap out of it in time, you go down. However, Borrowed Time has decided to lose the endurance and take on the Deep Wound. So this now means that Borrowed Time does not go down if you're in a chase, which is fucking atrocious. I mean, why? Borrowed Time was in a really good spot. No one had any complaints with it. Overall, the community was very happy with it. It did its job, and it did nothing more than its job. And now, it's just, I doubt it's gonna break anything, but it's just, why would you buff it? You know what I mean? It's just why? I'm sort of intrigued to see what happens, because probably survivors will find a way to fuck this up and abuse the shit out of it. But moving along, we're gonna go and take this Deep Wounds attribute and link it to the new killer, which is the Legion, who is another slow movement speed killer, which no one wants. No one wants a slow movement speed killer. Devs, listen to the community. No one likes slow movement speed killers. The only one that's popular really is the nurse, and that's because she teleports really quickly, meaning she's effectively a really fast killer. Why? No one really liked the spirit initially, and many people still don't like her. And now she's really strong, people don't like the spirit just because she's slow. It feels sluggish to play. The Hag's always been unpopular. She's very strong, once again, but unpopular. Huntress, once again, many people like the idea of her, but then hate playing her, primarily because she's slow. And so the devs were like, let's add more slow killers. So we have the Legion, 110% movement speed killer. And your ability is you can start sprinting at 120% for a very short period of time. And during this period, you can vault pallets very quickly and windows. You fast vault about the same speed as survivors. This can apply bamboozle. That sounds nutty. That sounds broken. That sounds completely fucking out of this world. That's almost nursed here, right? And then you see all of the small print, and many of which is not fucking listed in the description, so you don't actually see it. You end up playing the killer and going, why the fuck am I not doing anything? And you then find out that hitting a survivor resets your ability's duration. It's much like the spirit in the term that it has to regen. If you damage a survivor, that resets to 0, so you can't just sprint whenever. And also, once you use your sprint, if you apply, when you're sprinting and you damage someone while sprinting, it will put them in the injured state and apply deep wound, meaning that obviously that borrowed time type shit that we previously spoke about comes into play. However, if you start sprinting again and stab them again whilst they've already got deep wound, you won't do anything. You'll take down their timer a bit, but not by much at all. And obviously if you're in a chase, their timer won't go down. So, all in all, at average, if you want to down a survivor using your sprint, you will have to hit them a total of 5 times, 4 if you have a buggy chase sequence that lets their bar go down a bit. 4 fucking hits on a 110% movement speed killer. Are you fucking mental? Are you actually... Do you think, devs? That's what I have to say to this patch. Do you think? Because I can't say what were you thinking, because I'm not convinced you were thinking. What do you think? What do you think's going to happen with this? Sure, you can fast vault windows, but then when you do fast vault them, you can't do shit about it. And right, get this. When you hit a survivor with and apply deep wound, you then get taken out of your ability. You get stunned, much like a nurse fatigue, although slightly longer. It's like 2.5 seconds or something like that. And then your bar resets to 0 again, so you have a stun, and then a long waiting time before you can finally sprint again, and you will have to do that 4 fucking times at least in a chase. That is not viable ever. I've seen many people saying this killer is worse than Freddy, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I thought these people were just being silly. They didn't see the right potential, they weren't playing her correctly. And I've been practicing, and slowly over time I've gone, hang on a minute, they're right, this killer has nothing, actually nothing. At least Freddy only has to hit them twice. 4 times? Really? On a 115% movement speed killer, that would be fucking absurd. But, wow, okay. I'm gonna be very fucking mad if I carry on talking about that. Basically, New Killer Legion, worst killer in the game, no debate about that. Leatherface is laughing, Freddy is laughing, anyone you can think of is fucking laughing. And then we've also had some locker changes in this patch, meaning that lockers now hide the auras of any survivors who enter them, which is primarily to counter barbecue and chili. There's also a new perk added to the game, which is called like Confusion or something, in which you have 3 tokens at the start of a game, and each time the killer should see your aura, you lose a token. And for 5 seconds after, or 3 or 5, something like that, for 5 seconds after the killer should see your aura, you have no aura and no scratch marks. So this is aura immunity and dance with me in one. And all in all, I don't really care about that, because nowadays I'm not too fussed about auras. But this is primarily, both these 2 perks are primarily for countering barbecue and chili, which many people will probably be happy about. Many people who have only played Survivor and don't have a brain will be happy about. We did a count earlier, barbecue and chili now has 7 counters at least. Keeping in mind we only had a quick run through, I'm sure we could find some other perks or add-ons or some shit to just make barbecue and chili. 7 counters for barbecue. Please, devs, stop catering to people who have no idea what's going on in the game. You can get within the range, you can fake your direction, you can stand still so the killer doesn't know your direction, you can hide behind a gen, you can use object of obsession, you can now hide in lockers, you can also Fuck, what was it? Hiding behind a jet? I don't know if I already said that. There's another one. There's just so many fucking counters, it's hard to keep track. People, please, research. If you know people that are these sorts of people, just please teach them. Link them to my videos, link them to someone's videos, me, Useless, anyone. Link them, because this is fucking absurd. This is ridiculous. 7 counters to barbecue and chili. It's actually madness. It's genuinely fucking madness. And there are some other changes that were questionable. I've noticed that pallet breaking is slightly faster. I haven't seen that mentioned anywhere in patch notes, and it seems to have gone away since yesterday, so I wonder if that was a bug or something. That's a bit of an odd thing to keep out. I don't really like that to some degree. I think base pallet breaking is okay, it's just like brutal strength and fire up that will need buffs. Base pallet breaking is fast enough as it is, don't really like that change. Picking up survivors from the floor is now reverted back to how it used to be, in which you pick up very slowly, so now flashlights have a purpose. I love that. I really, really love that, because now flashlights actually exist. Because with the fast pickup times, you're only ever going to get a flashlight save if the killer is actually stupid. So, I like that. That is a good change. Very good. There was something else, I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, killer hit cooldowns are now slightly faster, I think. Although that seems to have gone away since yesterday also, so once again, maybe it was just a bug or something. But yeah, if you hit someone and you do your blade wipe animation, it felt a little bit faster. And also, one more thing about the Legion. Scratch marks go invisible when you sprint. Not only do they go invisible, but they get deleted. So, you know, like with the Spirit, you sort of don't see survivors until you come out of invis, and they sort of fade back in. You would expect that to happen with the Legion sprinting, where once you stop sprinting, you start seeing scratch marks again. You do not. The scratch marks get deleted. You have to wait for survivors to start sprinting again to generate new ones. You can't just, you know, the old scratch marks don't just fade in, they get deleted. And also, I mean, first off, that just has to go anyway, because that's just weird. Why let them fade back in so you can at least pick up where they left off? And second, why the fuck should the Legion not see scratch marks? Why? There is literally no reason. Even if the Legion was good, why the fuck can't they see scratch marks? There is no reason for this killer to not see scratch marks. And to be honest, I don't think there would ever be a scenario in which any killer deserves to not see scratch marks. That is ridiculous. The Legion is just so bad. And I was defending the Legion. I was saying, no, there's got to be a way. You know, you can use the pings from the dash to apply Sloppy Butcher to all 4 people. Because you can, like, when you hit someone, it then pings everyone else's location. But you can't do that, because the Legion can't down people after she hits them. It's just so you can apply Sloppy Butcher to them, but they don't give a shit because they're not going to heal anyway, because you can't get them after that first hit. Because remember, it doesn't deal a state of damage, it puts them in the injured state. So if they're already injured, they will remain injured. They won't just take another state of damage. Once again, going back to that 4 to 5 hit time count, whatever it is. This is a shambles. It really is. Many of you were probably there on my stream earlier. We were playing for the second day now. I was just laughing my head off. I just couldn't believe it. I was saying this has to be a dream. No way have the devs done this. No way did someone say, yes, we should add this to our game. Because no, you just don't do this. It's so shit. It's so shit. It's just, I tried so hard to defend her. I really did. And I refer to the Legion as a she because fuck playing as a male. And just, there's nothing. The Legion is not a killer. I would 100% play Freddy or Leatherface, perkless, over a fully equipped Legion. And I have done that. And I probably will have to in the future. Because, fuck the Legion. Fuck that killer. That killer needs to be buffed to fuck. 110%. Remove the fucking stun, or at least reduce, well, not remove it, that would be OP. Reduce the duration significantly. Give her the scratch marks back. Reduce the hit thing from 4 to like fucking 3. even that's a push. If you just do it 2 dashes after that, then maybe that's okay. Increase the duration or the speed, one or the other, not both. Fuck. They better fix it. They fixed the spirit, so I have faith they will. But at the same time, that faith isn't very strong, because I did lose a large amount of it just seeing the shit they've put out on that public test server. Granted, it is a PTS, but it's behaviour here. I'm not too convinced they're going to listen. Minor change is that something else that many people probably won't notice is that a lot of collision has changed. A lot of objects now tend to get you caught on them. So for survivors and killers alike, in your chases, be careful when hugging walls, because you will get stuck and you will be forced to stand still, and you will look like an utter twat when someone else is looking at you. Primarily for me, it's when I try and mind game, because I hug the walls to mind game, so I can keep my efficiency up, keep my my meters per second closer to the wall, so I can travel faster due to the hitboxes, whatever that is. Anyway, I end up getting stuck a lot, so instead of spinning around and hitting someone round a corner, I end up just sort of spinning around and walking into a wall and not really moving. And then I played Survivor and ended up dying twice just because I got stuck on a fucking object. So you guys might want to watch out for that. I highly doubt the devs are going to fix that. It just seems like too much hassle for them to care about. And let's face it, a lot of the community don't play efficiently, and this only affects efficient players who try and keep close to the walls. So chances are not many people will care. Overall, this patch is a nightmare. I want to wake up from it. I uninstalled the public test build today. I will not be reinstalling it unless I see some major changes added to that public test server. And if the Legion gets added into the game with her current state, this game is going to go downhill very quickly. I do not think the community is going to put up with this anymore. It's embarrassing. Anyway, rant over. It's half rant, half information. This patch is a fucking nightmare. At least the game looks nice though, eh? Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to hit that bell icon so you can actually stay updated due to YouTube not giving people alerts. And hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.